Alright guys, if you want the chance to win one of these M16s and an overmolded cigarette, all you have to do is leave a like on the video, comment down below, and make sure you guys are subscribed. I'll be giving one of each of these away in next week's episode. Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Building Vietnam in Lego. In this week's episode, we're going to be working on a couple different things. One of them is we're going to push hard to finish this white building as much as we can. A couple things we have to finish is we actually have to add a top floor. So I'm trying to figure out how I want to do that. I've got to find some larger plates that can span this whole distance here, and then some sort of support beams that you can't see through the windows, but will give us enough support that we can build on the roof section a little bit. You know, if you remember, we were looking at this reference picture here, and I want to do something similar where you have kind of ledges and then like a little entry point, and then I want to put like an antenna and like maybe an AC unit and stuff like that on top. And we're going to need a little bit of support so we can build on top of that building. And then hopefully we'll have some time to not only work on this little building on the side that'll go up about halfway, but I'd like to kind of work on this little platform here. I know I had talked about I wanted to maybe make it look destroyed in this corner, so I want to play around with that, and then also at the same time maybe slowly kind of clean up as I'm building. And then we can kind of, what I'm thinking is I want to work on this second building off to the left. This is going to be a pretty large building, so if anything we might start to do a little bit more layout work on this building, and then I can start to order parts for it. But I don't know if we'll get that far, so let's go ahead, let's start working on this white building a little bit more. Let's try to work on first getting that layer and support beam section figured out, and then we can start working on kind of the perimeter. So let's go ahead and do that now. Okay, I just wanted to do a quick clip. I moved all these bags of parts from here kind of off to the side, just cleaned up this section right here just so I can kind of take a step back, not see a bunch of bags of parts, but can kind of see what the front section of this road and like where these buildings are going to go. Just clean things up. And then I had a couple bags of parts here that I'm not really using, so I'm going to put those away. And then there's a couple bags in here that have like the same parts in it. Like I've got 2 bags that have 1x2, so I'm going to like consolidate those and bag those up just to kind of thin the herd of bags. And now what I'm going to work on is I've got to find some larger plates to do this top section. That's kind of what I'm worried about right now. And I guess another concern is how, if I put this roof on and it's rigid, aka like it's not removable, the only way I could get figures in here to like pose them is through the window, which I guess isn't that hard to do. I just kind of do that, and then I guess that's possible. Okay, that's not too big of a deal. I just wanted to make sure that I wouldn't have to like tear down this top section just to put figures in these 2 window slots. So that's just something I just thought of on the fly here. So I'm going to work on that, and then I'm still kind of processing what I want that secondary color to be. So let's go ahead and work on that, then we'll go down there. So I'm over here at the center table, and I just built this. This is kind of a stack up of a bunch of different plates. It's mainly white on the top. There's gray on the back, and that's for a very specific reason. And what I used for the back of this is I had a bunch of these 8x8 like grate plates. So I used those. Basically what this is going to do is I put 2 support beams, one here and one here, and then those will connect to these front corners, and then this back edge will go right up against there, and this will drop down and it'll make this nice and flush. So I don't want to do it now because there's a little bit of finessing I have to do because this isn't the sturdiest right here. I might need to fix that. So that's kind of what I'm working on. This will just basically go right here, boom, and then I'll be able to start working on building up this edge and doing a couple more things. So let's go ahead and install this right now. Alright guys, this is what I got so far. I'm actually making some really good progress. So I decided to, instead of connecting this whole like the piece you saw in last clip, like this whole roof section, instead of putting that in, I actually put the tiles down. I started building this is like a staircase that the guys would come out to get to the roof. So I actually built all of that on there first, then I put it in there, just because putting too much pressure on this right now would break it. There's only like 3 points of contact that are holding that up. And then what I've also been working on is I went ahead and okay, so first of all, I don't have a lot of white bricks left like anywhere. I've looked in there, I've looked all down here, I've looked all down there. I don't have a whole lot. So I had this big bag of 1x2s, and I was like, you know, I don't really want to use those, but I kind of have to. So I went ahead and basically did the whole perimeter of the, the top ledge here, and it's 3 bricks tall, and then there'll be 1 tile that goes around the top edge as well. You can see I started by putting some tiles in the corners there, but it gives it a good height where the minifigure, basically just his head is exposed and he can still stick his gun up over the edge, which is like perfect. So that's what we're gonna do. I put white tiles in there, and I still need to build like a little roof, kind of like this guy did here. I might do it in black or light gray or something like that. And then what I'm doing now is, so you can see how this is pretty blank and boring. Now that it's up, I'm going to go ahead and take parts of it down and add detailing like I did on the front here to make it look more war-torn. And I've got to do that on this side as well, because this building's not going to be that high. So I'm going to have to do it to this section right here. This building's probably only going to go up to about halfway right here. So I got to do that there, and then I've got to find tiles to go around the top. I don't know if I have too many of those, but slowly working away on that. I'm going to go ahead and detail this, look for some tiles, and then I'm probably going to start on this building. So let's go ahead and do that now. Okay, so I looked for my tile bin. I actually have a lot of like 1x4 tiles and 1x6s and 1x8s, so I'm actually pretty confident that we'll be able to finish that tiling, but I'm going to go ahead and detail those sidewalls first. So I started building up with just normal Lego tan, and I thought at first it would look pretty good, but I'm thinking it's not going to look the best. And then I thought about, what if we do dark, or not dark bluish gray, but light bluish gray. I'm thinking the dark gray and the light gray would look really well, and since there's not a lot of light gray on this building other than these kind of separation marks, I think it'll look good next to it. And since we've already spaced it off of the initial light gray kind of foundation, it's not going to be too repetitive. So I'm going to try doing light bluish gray, and that'll give me a good excuse because I've got a lot of light bluish gray parts, and we can use some of these masonry bricks to add some cool details. So I don't know, I'm going to try light bluish gray. Let's see how it looks. Okay, so I started building this in light bluish gray, and I thought I wanted to kind of keep the same idea of doing the whatchamacallit, like the separation lines, and I honestly don't think that looks good in this color scheme. I think the building itself would look really good, but I think I'm going to get rid of these light bluish gray, or not light bluish gray, dark bluish gray kind of 1x6s and whatnot to give it that line. And then I'm kind of doing a big busted out like side of this wall here. So I think I'm going to remove basically these plates here like so. And then I'm just going to kind of continue building like so. So I think that's going to look a lot better like that. So let's go ahead and do that, but we're making progress. Okay, little progress update. Switched over to light bluish gray. This is what I got so far. I elevated this 6x8 plate in here using this kind of column, just in case I wanted to add something where we could have some guys up here shooting out of maybe like a sniper or something. And then on the side, I'm really liking how that detail's going. Sorry, it's kind of dark back there, but really liking how that's looking. Then the back, I'm just kind of building it up with some bricks. You're not going to see that anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And one thing I've been thinking about is I started building up like this section. I thought I just had it. Here we go. I was like building up this section right here with 1x6s, and then I was looking at a brick interest, and he built this building here where he actually did one layer like a light bluish or a dark bluish gray, and then he did the completely opposite. He did like a sand green on top, and then that got me thinking it might be cool if we somehow interpret or make, you know, some kind of color on top, the top layer. It would be really cool. I just don't know how I would do it. You know, I could finish this building off and do light bluish gray, but I feel like it's going to be a bunch of boring colors back here. The other alternative is to do light bluish gray, finish it off, make it look really detailed and destroyed, and then maybe have like some explosions coming out of it with like flame pieces to add color to it. So there's that option. So I'm curious to see what you guys think. We're actually going to do a poll. So the poll is going to be, make this building, it's going to be like, what should I do with this building? And the first answer will be, keep it light bluish gray and finish it, or try sand green and see how it looks. So there's the two options. I'm going to have you guys decide what I should do with it, because we could do something like this building right here, and it might look cool. I just don't have a lot of sand green parts. Pretty much all I have is, I do have some olive green, but for the sand green, I've got pretty much a bunch of 1x1s. I've got some 2x2s that could work, and then I've got a bunch of the brick bricks or the masonry bricks, which we could use, you know, on their sides like this, and it would just be a blank face. I noticed he was doing that in a couple of these here, so we can make this work. I don't know if it's worth it. We could try it out. I would have to redo kind of how this is, because this would come up and over where the sand green would be, so we'd have to play with that. But I'm curious to see what you guys think of that. But other than that, I'm really liking how this is turning out. If we move kind of some of this stuff back, maybe set up a couple figures here, and I'm really liking the way this is turning out, actually. So if we take a step back, especially this building is looking awesome with that little top section. That's still a work in progress, but pretty much all of this, I don't know if I've showed this, but I got the tiles on there, and it's looking really nice. So I'm curious to see what you guys think of that building. Leave a like if you like that building, and then make sure you guys take that poll up there. So kind of curious to see what you guys think. Alright guys, we're going to be picking the winner from episode 33, so let's go ahead and pick the winner here. We click this 3 times, and the third person is the winner. Here we go. Thomas Coles, watching about 1 year, really good work on what you're doing. I totally butchered your name, but Thomas, you are the winner. Make sure you send an email through my website, BrickTactical.com, with your address, a screenshot of you logged in, all that good stuff. We can take care of that through email. Alright guys, that's going to do it for episode 34 of Building Vietnam and Lego. So quick recap, we kind of cleaned this area up. As you can see, when you start working, things get messy, but we did, I would say 95% finish this white building, which I'm super stoked about. That building, we're leaving it up to you guys. Should I do light bluish gray and finish it off, or should I try sand green? Make sure you take that poll up there in the card section, and that'll be kind of our next goal for next week's episode. Is I want to try to finish that up, and then kind of finish up some of this work down here. I'm going to probably have to order some more parts. I don't really know what parts I need to order, so we might have to wait 1 more week and then see. And then another thing, I want to try to bounce back over here and start working on the jungle and finishing some of this stuff up. I know we haven't really touched on a lot of this in a while, but I kind of want to make sure we bounce back and forth, because I know the past like solid 5 episodes have just been on these buildings and like the road section. So I kind of want to bounce back over here, and then maybe even completely clean off this mock, get all these bags and just put them in a bin down here. That way we can kind of tuck it away afterwards and get a better look at everything. So that's just a couple things. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you think I should add to the mock, what I should take out of the mock. Let me know what you think of the buildings, all that good stuff. Drop it in the comments. Let me know. Thank you guys for the continuous support on these videos. Make sure you guys leave a like, comment, and subscribe to have a chance to win some of those accessories earlier in the video. And make sure you guys check out last week's episode. I'll put a link to it right here, and then check out the full playlist if you want to go rewatch some of the episodes. And then make sure you guys subscribe by clicking right there. That'll do it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in another video. Peace out.